In this video, I'm going to talk about the issue of when to start using the voice more spontaneously out in public. Say you've been practicing some voice techniques with your clinician and you can do well in the session and achieve a voice that you're happy with. I get this quite often where sometimes the voice sounds like it's almost effortless for the person. It's almost second nature to them when they're in the session. They're not even thinking about how to do it. But when I ask them if they're using it outside, sometimes the answer is no. And this can be for somebody who's had a voice that doesn't work very well, and then they're working on making it work better, but still used to more having the croaky voice and reluctant to adopt the smoother voice. And it can also work for trans clients where often somebody will use a trans feminine voice effortlessly during the session, never reverts, even in the spontaneous speech, but still feels self-conscious to use this. Typically it will be with other family members and commonly also at work. For some reason, especially work, when people have perhaps transitioned in the same job, using the voice, it feels difficult. Now, I've seen that people who kind of feel the fear and do it anyway, kind of have doubts about the voice, but just use it anyway with their colleagues, find that just actually propels them into that voice becoming their habitual voice anyway. But us being humans tend to sometimes have fears and doubts that dominate us, and we tend to feel that if I do that, it will sound odd, I'll feel weird, I won't be able to keep it up. And it's a hard thing to accept, but it's always the case that most people do not take our voices as seriously as we do. And therefore, if the voice drops a bit or the voice quality changes a bit, it's really not the end of their world. But of course, if we're feeling self-conscious, it feels like that to us. Holding back the voice happens because it feels a safe thing for people to do. They're kind of working on their voice in private and then just keeping the other thing going as normal. So when we're doing anything new and we're learning a new skill, it can feel weird, it can feel a challenge. But the impact of holding back, that obviously mostly fortune favours the brave, and unfortunately the same is true for voice. If you have the courage to use it sooner rather than later, you'll actually end up having less treatment probably. So it's kind of a saving all round in time, in effort, in money in the long run. But like I say, humans tend to need more support, all of us, in certain areas, and voice is one area where people tend to need a lot of support to help the carryover. But if you can take the plunge, it will probably save you some time, so that will be a good saving. Another reason why people often delay using the voice that they've modified well, be it a voice that sounded croaky at the beginning and the voice quality has changed to be a clear voice quality, or a voice that they've wanted to sound higher in, perhaps because of gender identity issues. Often they hold back because the new voice feels very different and a bit of a shock to the system. So obviously people have had either their non-functioning voice. So for a person who's had, let's say, a dysphonia, a voice that hasn't worked well, that creaky voice or that hoarse voice, that breathy voice can become quite normal to them, to their ear. So come the clearer voice, and they know it feels better and it doesn't hurt and it's easy to produce at this stage, but they still feel reluctant to use it socially outside because they'll say, oh, that doesn't sound like me, because the sounding me that they've come with was not the sounding me that they were before. They came to therapy, but they've got used to that. That's become their new normal. So it takes a little while sometimes just to recalibrate to the voice post-treatment. And in most cases, that voice post-treatment will be more akin to their pre-treatment voice, but they haven't heard it for a long time. So it feels a bit of a shock to the system. And similarly, if people are modifying their pitch to match the gender identity, again, it's a little bit be careful what you wish for, because sometimes when the new voice develops, that also brings a certain amount of fear of using it. Because of course, voice is a very social thing. I've said that many times. So it's not something we just do to talk to ourselves. We have to use it with other people. And all of that can be more difficult when people are feeling challenged with social anxiety or just general life apprehensions. So if people can get on and take the plunge and use it, they'll probably reap the benefits sooner. If you found the video helpful, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.